This story is part of a new collection about the women of the American Revolution. These women were not included in the original book, but their courage, sacrifice, and service to the cause of American independence deserve to be remembered and shared. Patience Lovell, right? Wax sculptor in London who passed intelligence to American leaders. Patience Lovell Wright was born in 1725, reportedly on Long Island, New York, and grew up largely in Bordentown, New Jersey. Her family belonged to the Society of Friends, commonly called Quakers. The household was strict, but Patience developed an independent spirit that would remain evident throughout her life. As a girl, she and her sister Rachel enjoyed shaping small figures from bread dough, clay, and other available materials. What began as childhood amusement eventually became the foundation of a professional career. At a time when girls rarely received formal artistic training, Wright learned through observation, experimentation, and persistent practice. Her later portraits were admired for their realism, suggesting an exceptional ability to study faces, gestures, and personality. This combination of careful observation and social confidence would serve her equally well as an artist and as a collector of political information. In 1748, Patience married Joseph Wright, a much older Quaker associated with farming and barrel making. The couple lived in the Bordentown area and raised a family. Like most colonial women, Patience was expected to center her life on household responsibilities, motherhood, and her husband's affairs. Her circumstances changed abruptly when Joseph died in 1769. Pregnant and responsible for children, she needed a dependable source of income. Instead of accepting dependence on relatives, Wright turned her unusual artistic ability into a business. Working with her widowed sister Rachel Wells, she began producing tinted wax portraits and figures. Their creations included carefully modeled faces, glass eyes, hair, and clothing, giving viewers the startling impression that they were looking at living people. The sisters exhibited their waxworks and charged admission, transforming private creativity into public entertainment and financial independence. The business prospered in Philadelphia and New York. Wright modeled prominent people, attracted curious audiences, and developed a reputation for both technical skill and theatrical presentation. Her figures were not small ornaments. Many were life-sized busts or full figures arranged to appear natural and immediate. Wax had advantages over marble or bronze because it could reproduce warm skin tones and minute facial details, but it was also fragile and vulnerable to heat and fire. In 1771, a fire destroyed much of Wright's New York collection. The loss might have ended a less determined artist's career. For Wright, it became the beginning of a daring new chapter. Encouraged by her growing reputation and colonial connections, she crossed the Atlantic and established herself in London in 1772. There she entered the center of the British Empire, just as relations between Britain and its American colonies were moving toward open rebellion. London audiences were fascinated by Wright. She became known for portraits that seemed almost alive and for a working method that appeared dramatic to observers. Because wax had to remain warm and pliable, she reportedly shaped it beneath her apron or close to her body. Her direct speech, rustic clothing, emotional manner, and disregard for rigid social ceremony made her memorable. She treated aristocrats with a familiarity that some found refreshing and others considered scandalous. Yet publicity helped her business, and influential clients visited her studio. She modeled members of fashionable society and gained access to circles connected with Parliament and the royal court. Reports even associate her with King George III and Queen Charlotte. Wright's surviving full-length wax figure of William Pitt, Earl of Chatham, reflects the ambition and quality of her work. Pitt had defended colonial rights, making him a particularly meaningful subject for an American sympathizer. Wright's London career unfolded during a worsening imperial crisis. The Boston Tea Party, punitive British legislation, and the fighting at Lexington and Concord transformed political disagreement into war. Wright openly favored the colonies, sometimes expressing her opinions with startling boldness. Her studio offered an ideal place to hear political conversation. Visitors from government, military, artistic, and aristocratic circles could speak while sitting for portraits or viewing her exhibition. Wright passed useful news to Americans and corresponded with important figures, including Benjamin Franklin. She also wrote to John Dickinson about British preparations. Such communications show that she was more than a sympathetic observer. She actively sought to influence events and keep patriot leaders informed. Because Secret Service during the Revolution was often informal, conducted through private letters and personal networks, her activities did not resemble the organized intelligence agencies familiar today. The most famous story about Wright claims that she concealed intelligence in hollow wax heads or figures shipped to America, often through her sister Rachel. According to later family testimony, messages were hidden in letters, buttons, and portrait heads so that British inspectors would not discover them. The image of military secrets traveling inside a wax bust is memorable and has made Wright one of the Revolution's most celebrated female spies. Nevertheless, the surviving evidence does not verify every version of the tale. Historians therefore distinguish between her documented correspondence and later stories that may have grown in retelling. It is reasonable to describe Wright as an informant or intelligence gatherer while acknowledging uncertainty about particular missions. That caution does not diminish her contribution. Simply gathering news in wartime, maintaining transatlantic contacts, and supporting independence while living in Britain required judgment, confidence, and real personal risk. Wright's patriotism also appeared in practical efforts to assist Americans imprisoned in Britain. She raised money, appealed to influential contacts, and corresponded about their welfare. Her workshop became a gathering place for people sympathetic to the American cause. This humanitarian work reveals an important dimension of revolutionary service that extended beyond battlefields and secret dispatches. Prisoners needed food, clothing, money, advocates, and connections. Wright used the social position created by her art to provide such support. At the same time, she did not fit easily into anyone's expectations. She could be impulsive, outspoken, and politically complicated. Some contemporaries admired her energy, others criticized her manners. Abigail Adams, after meeting her, offered a famously harsh description. Such reactions tell us as much about 18th century expectations for female behavior as they do about Wright. She refused to be quiet, deferential, or invisible. After spending time in Paris, where she is said to have modeled Benjamin Franklin, Wright returned to London. She continued planning ambitious portraits of prominent Americans. She hoped to create likenesses of national leaders for display in the United States and sought sittings from men such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Washington apparently agreed to sit for her when circumstances allowed, but the portrait was never made. By 1785, Wright wanted to return to America. Before she could complete the journey, she suffered a serious fall and died in London on March 23, 1786. She was approximately 61 years old. Her family struggled with the expenses surrounding her death and burial. The uncertain location of her grave contrasts sharply with the fame she had achieved during her career. Most of her delicate wax creations also disappeared, leaving only limited physical evidence of an extensive body of work. Patience Lovell Wright deserves remembrance because she expanded the possibilities available to women in both art and public life. Widowed in a society that restricted women's economic power, she built a successful enterprise from a skill developed without formal schooling. She crossed an ocean, established a studio in the imperial capital, and persuaded some of the era's most powerful people to become her clients. Those relationships then gave her opportunities to gather information, advocate for prisoners, and support American independence. Whether every tale of messages hidden in wax is true matters less than the well-supported pattern of her life. Wright deliberately connected creativity with political purpose. She understood that conversation could reveal secrets, reputation could provide access, and art could create influence. Her story also broadens our understanding of the American Revolution. Independence was not achieved only by soldiers, generals, and statesmen. Women sustained families, ran businesses, carried messages, raised funds, cared for prisoners, shaped public opinion, and operated across national boundaries. Wright performed several of these roles while challenging conventions about how a respectable woman should speak and behave. She turned wax, a material easily softened and reshaped, into portraits that captured powerful individuals and into a lasting symbol of resourcefulness. Today, she is remembered as a pioneering American sculptor and a woman whose loyalty to the revolutionary cause carried her into dangerous political territory. Bold, inventive, and imperfect, patience Lovell Wright fashioned more than faces. She fashioned an independent life and used it in service of a new nation.